Hi guys, happy Saturday. Today we are talking about being thankful because I hope you guys all enjoyed your Thanksgiving, but I have a few questions that came through, so I picked 5 randomly that can be tied into being thankful. And not just for turkey. So, let's go. I will say, first we're going to talk about everything from photography, beauty, packing, registries. We're kind of just going to go through a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to just jump right on in. Okay. So this question came from Jeannie and she says, I love your photos. Thank you, girl. Do you have any photography tips? So, I would say more than anything else, research your photographers. For me, we just really looked at so many different ones and you kind of get to know what their work is, but then also you kind of start to interact with them. So last week I talked about making sure that you interview them, but this week I'll just talk more about what you do once you have them. You already love them. You already feel like they're going to do what you need them to do. So I'd say wear makeup. Make sure that you wear makeup. It's important. You want your photos to feel good, to look good. You want yourself to feel good. And this is like the number one time in your life where you can wear as much and be as glam or do whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you do that. You feel better and then your photos look well. You're not as much concerned about certain things. In the same vein, make sure that you pay attention to the environment. Make sure that you're paying attention to where you are. If you're going to be outdoors, make sure that you're aware of the temperature and how hot it's going to be. Say, for example, I was in Mexico in May and it was sweaty. I was sweaty and it was hot and we were outdoors for our pre-wedding photo shoot, which I also recommend as well. But you kind of had to just be aware that that's going to happen. So kind of just know that you're going to be sweaty. So make sure that you do have like a towel on hand or some sort of thingy. Like for me, Ivory Perkins of Ivory Perkins Beauty, she came with me and she gave me these little towelette thingies. I'll link to them after this or whatever, but I use those. And also I still was sweaty because we ended up running and all these other things. So what we did was, I was sweating. I didn't know how bad it was. So my lovely, now he's my husband, he actually had a moment where he's kind of looking at my forehead and he's looking and I'm like, what are you looking at? And he finally is like, well, I don't know. It's like it's something going on like up there. So I'm freaking out like, wait, you have to like stop photos. If you're ever uncomfortable, stop the photos. Don't feel like the photographers are doing their thing and you can't interrupt it. If there's something that you're uncomfortable with, please stop those photos and go, wait. Pause for a second, you're paying for this, and then figure it out. So for us, we took the phone and we're kind of like looking and he, looked to make sure I was good. And it turned out that because I was sweating, I had like this whole sweat line going on where it separates and it just wasn't looking good. So we had to smooth that out and get that going. So yes, consider your environment. Consider what's going to go on with that. I'd also say for on your wedding day, think about when you're getting ready photos. So for a podcast episode, I don't know, I'll link to that also, but I interviewed Stanley Babb of Stanlow Photography and he gave so many great tips, but one of his tips was make sure that your room is clean. If you're going to get getting ready photos done, clean your room. It doesn't limit you to the areas you can kind of they can have free reign of taking photos of you freely wherever you are, and you get the most comfortable ones because you're not sitting there thinking about, okay, wait, let me clear this out. Let me make sure this is okay. Let me do this. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You're just there and they can just, as you're walking, as you're doing what you're doing, they don't have to be worried about photos of, some suitcases or photos of random things. Like whatever it is, you'll have a clean area. So I love you. I love Stanley for that advice because we used it. We both, Che and I both had photos done and they looked great because we had our rooms cleaned. You don't want suitcases in there, but your room is going to have suitcases for the most part. So just beforehand, even if it's not you, talk to your bride friend, your bridesmaid, your maid of honor, whoever it is, and tell them like, hey, I'm putting you kind of on room duty. So can you just make sure that everything is together? Like we were putting suitcases under the bed and all types of stuff ahead of time. So definitely do that. I took notes. So let me say communicate with friends. And you know what? So back to being thankful. So be thankful for the opportunity to take wedding photos or to be having a destination wedding. And with that, just kind of embrace your relationship. If you guys have fun and you guys are like really goofy and silly, then do goofy and silly things, or try to just loosen up. For us, luckily we did pre-wedding photos and they came out amazing, but we were both kind of nervous with it, or a little awkward sometimes. So I would just say, try to just be better about it. We're not the photo like couple that's always taking pictures. So for us, it was something to get used to, like someone right there all up in your biz, but you get more comfortable, and it could be really fun if you just get that out of your mind. You know, it's like a photo of me like jumping on his back, or our photographer was super creative. So like Eric would like tell us like, okay, I like this area, so go over here, or, you know, jump on his back or run and do all these sorts of things. And it was just really fun to do those things. So I think that for us, we really would have enjoyed it more if we would have been less stiff. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Yeah, and any inside jokes too. Like for me, one more photo thing. So if you have any inside jokes, make sure that you kind of use those too, because it's photos for you. And then also, Pinterest is amazing, and we all have these like photos that we love. Like we love this couple doing this thing. And if you have that thing that you want to do, make sure that you remember it, you communicate it to your photographer, but then also communicate it to a friend to make sure that it all happens. Because once you're in the midst of everything, it's all going on, you're not thinking about it as much, and you shouldn't be. You're just thinking about, wow, I just got married and this is amazing, and now we're taking photos. You're not thinking about that one sign that you wish you had, or you wanted to be right here in this area looking at each other, you want to kiss, whatever it is. Whatever you have that you love, you're not thinking about it at that time. And your photographer, yes, it is their job to do that, but they're also creative souls, so they may not be thinking about those things at the same time. So for you, just make sure that you tell a friend who also, so between the three of you, your photographers, and yourself, and your friend, somebody will remember. They should remember, at least, hopefully. So yeah, I think that's that. Ina says, do you have a registry? My fiance thinks it's tacky, and my mom thinks I'm asking too much. A wedding registry. So traditionally, we all know that wedding registries are a thing. You have a wedding and then people send you stuff and, congratulations. But I'd say yes and no. To answer your question, we do have a registry, or we did have a registry. But one, we didn't start it until later, and it was because we were saying we don't have a registry, because for us, it was like one of those, we're thankful for just you guys coming. Your presence is a present, like hard body for real. It's a sacrifice for people to have to do this. And it's a sacrifice for people to come. It's a sacrifice for you, sacrifice for them. And you're just happy that they can just make it happen. Like, don't worry about sending me a toaster. I got a toaster, or whatever it is. Just come happy and enjoy it, and don't feel any type of way. We did decide to do something that's like, that's all fine, but you do have people who want to do stuff anyway, and don't let that limit you. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But so what we did was we decided to do like a honeymoon fund somewhat. Not a honeymoon fund. It was the first anniversary fund, because we did actually have a honeymoon. So we asked people we did a little link like, hey, your presence is a present, but for anybody who does want to do something, then we use Zola.com. I'll link to that at the same time too. But Zola was really great, really easy. And people just were able to contribute whatever, and then went that way. So I would say, if your fiance thinks that it's so, that you shouldn't be doing it, then that's a conversation for you guys to have. It really varies. But I don't think that you should expect people to do it because you're not having a traditional wedding. That's just my opinion, but it can go both ways. Because think about it. If someone's coming to your wedding and then they go, oh, on top of that, she wants a gift. It's like, well, dang, like I'm already doing this, I'm already doing that. So that's one thing. But at the same time, if they come to your wedding and then you get home and you're like, oh, they ain't do nothing for me, they really kind of did. They came to your wedding in wherever you decided to have it, and they had a great time. So that's like, this is the one time when really, really being thankful for them coming can be helpful. And it makes you both feel better. And if you get something, it's like a bonus. It's a surprise. It's like, hey, just don't expect anything. If anything, you're like more thankful, and you're kind of wanting to give them gifts and do things for them for coming for you. That's my 2 cents. I would love to hear if you guys, I think this is a good conversational piece. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about it. So leave a comment. Tell me what you think about that. And I look forward to hearing about it. Diana says, did you ship anything to Mexico? If so, how? And if not, how did you get all of your items there? I'm stressed out and terrified of shipping. I was terrified of shipping too. Seriously. I did not ship anything. My husband probably wishes that we would have, because I was so set on making sure that we had everything. And I'd heard crazy things about customs, and I heard so many things about like things getting lost, or the one bride who sends off her like welcomes gifts, and then they actually are stuck in customs and she can't get them until after her wedding, or all that kind of stuff. So I did not. I've heard both things, so I'm curious also to know what you guys think about that. But I didn't ship anything, not to Mexico. Maybe I feel like certain places might be easier to ship to, but Mexico specifically kind of scares me. Their government, love Mexico, nothing. This is not like an anti-Mexico thing at all. So let me just not do that. But I would say that everywhere doesn't ship to them for a reason. You know what I mean? So how did I get things there? Luggage. We had 3 big suitcases. I believe we checked 3 bags, and we took on our carry-on bags as well. And then we also had my dress and his tux were in 2 separate garment bags. And then I had a backpack, and I think he had a backpack too. So it was a lot that we were doing. And I ended up getting, in my journal I talked about it, but they kind of dinged us and they didn't let me bring my roll-on bag. So they made me check it at the gate. And my feelings was hurt because it had all my good stuff in it. And I was terrified even being on the plane because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all of my clothes. I thought I was being smart by not having certain outfits, like the important wedding weekend outfits I was carrying on just in case something happened and luggage was stolen. I would at least have my dress, my Thursday outfit, my Friday outfit, and my makeup and my jewelry and my shoes. I was good. Well, they made me check it anyway, so then that was a whole other thing. But that's how we got everything. We just packed, and packed some more. So I hope that's helpful too. And Terry asks, what advice can you offer for hair? I can't pick a style. I don't know. Ivory, if you're on here, let me know. If you're watching this later, please leave us some comments too. Let me know if I'm getting this right. But I would say that, so I'll start off this way. I went to get my hair done ahead of time, and I was just thinking about what am I going to do, because I don't want to get my hair done, and I love my long hair, and I want to do, I don't want to get my hair done. I don't want to get my hair wet because I don't want to mess it up and all these other things, and I'm worried about my edges being okay. And the hairstylist specifically just said, because I was thinking about doing a lace front. And I've never had a lace front wig before. But at that time, I'm thinking, if you get a lace front, then everything is going to be laid and you'll be good. But at the same time, it's not necessarily the most natural look. And for me, I tend to be more, I like my hair down to my butt, but it's still it needs to kind of look somewhat natural, if that makes sense. But anyway, she was just like, more than anything else, make sure that you still look like you on your wedding. You don't want to deviate too far and not look like yourself on your wedding. You have to embrace yourself. So be thankful for who you are is basically what she was saying. But just, you can always amp it up. So just still look like you, but then you can kind of just do something different with it. So for me, I would say love Pinterest, enjoy Pinterest, but don't go crazy about it. If it's something that's just completely off the chain and away and deviates from who you are, I wouldn't go there. And then also for us, just if I have no idea actually, Terry, but so being Black, get my hair wet is always a thing. Like, the problem with having a destination wedding, unless it's in like Jamaica or some other some other amazing place, is that you have to, you're in charge of your own hair. You can't just go to a salon and just get your hair done any type of way. You have to be aware of how to maintain it yourself. So if anything, know how to maintain your hair. Because I was at the beach before. I can get my hair wet because I also know how to fix it later on. I know how to detangle. I know how to like make sure that you do braid it up ahead of time so that you're not, and this is if you're having a beach wedding. I'm assuming that this is a beach destination. And if this is the case, then make sure that like if you do get your hair wet, it's not just tossing all over the place. If you're out and you're in the ocean and your hair is flowing free and it's all over the place, it's going to mat up. And when it mats up, you're in trouble. So the way to avoid matting up is to use leave-in conditioner ahead of time. Make sure that you braid it up pretty tightly so that it can't move around and mush around too much. Because when you like mush it and it comes together, that's kind of what makes the mats. So just practice your maintenance. With picking a hairstyle specifically for your wedding day, I would say just don't force it. If it's gonna be super windy outside, you may not be able to wear the big, straight hair, just straight down, because it's going to be in your face. You're going to be all tripping the whole time. It's going to be a distraction for you. So just be aware of where you're going to be, and then don't force it based off of that environment. If it's going to be cold outside, in my opinion, I hate being cold. So if it's going to be cold, then I would wear my hair down because it covers my ears, it covers my body a little bit, and I feel just a little bit more warmer when it is. So just make sure that you're doing it that way. And then just trials. I did my makeup trial with Ivory ahead of time. And then as far as hair, we just played a lot. Like for Pinterest, you can add a collaborator. So I would post things that I liked, and then she would post things as well. And then we'd have a conversation and talk about it. And that was because we didn't live here. So that was kind of like our version of a trial. Or I did a lot of testing ahead of time. Like say for my different types of hair, I didn't know if I wanted to have like big curly hair. So I bought this hair and I loved it. But maintaining curly hair for me was not that easy when I just like to just get up and roll around and do whatever. So I ended up deciding against that. But I had that months before just to kind of test it out to see how it works and how it holds up. So testing, make sure that it's, you still look like you. Do that if you can. And something's going on outside. Yolanda says, I see that you have a workout schedule on the BlackDesti blog. By the way, love it. Thank you, girl. Thank you. But how did you stick to your workouts? Excuse me. Do you have any advice? And some of the workouts I've never heard of, are you going to do any videos? Okay, I'll go backwards. First of all, you don't want to see me working out on video. I'm not that person. It won't be pretty. So unfortunately I won't be actually doing videos. This is me doing my first videos to begin with. So maybe like baby steps. If this works out for me, then I might be more willing to record in the gym. But honestly, you don't want to see it. It just wouldn't be pretty. I will say that the workout schedule that I have, what I did, for anyone who's not aware, is on the BlackDesti blog, I have like my actual workouts. So at the time there was in a calendar, and it was like Monday's booty day, Tuesday's arms and legs, and Wednesday's chest and shoulders. And when arms and shoulders, and then chest and back, and leg day was, straight. It was basically in that way. And every single day had a specific workout that was cardio, and then, weights are my thing. So I really enjoy weights. And then the abs, if it's a core day or whatever. So I had it all planned out, and that was helpful because I already knew what I was going to do. If I'm going to go, I already know what I'm doing ahead of time. For me, I kind of hate structure though. So it was hard to, so I would kind of just pick. I wouldn't always stick to it exactly, but at least I had those workouts that would be different. So it worked out nicely for me. I did freak out though. I was definitely one of those. I started so far in advance, like I started early and I was on it. And then I got closer and I started to fall off, and then I'm freaking out because I don't look how I want to look and my body's not where I want it to be, and I want to be snatched because my dress is all tight. So I was having a moment, and a few moments, but one of my breakdown moments, I will say that my wonderful husband said something that I'm going to share with you guys. And he just told me, hey, I'm marrying you. Like, I want you to be you. So basically he was just telling me that I'm freaking out about trying to like transform into this whole other thing. And that doesn't mean that I can't look better and be a better version of myself. But for me, I was trying to like lose these mad, crazy inches and just be someone that I just wasn't. And it was stressing me out. It was stressing him out because I'm stressed out. And then it just wasn't realistic. So when he just kind of relieved that, and that's something I want you to think about, is just more, you have a partner who loves you and who's proposed, or you've accepted, or, that you decided that you guys are going to live the rest of your lives together. So you have someone who appreciates it. You should appreciate it at the same time and still continue and want to do better. And, you've got your dress. But if you've already bought your dress, like, just try not to, like, the brides who buy dresses 5 sizes, like way dramatically smaller than they are currently, I feel my heart goes out to you, because it's just like, don't do that to yourself. Like, try not to do that to yourself. It's not necessarily fair to yourself to try to go hard body like that, depending on how long you have. If you've got a long time, then do you. But for the most part, that kind of feels like I'm not this and I want to be like all the way on a whole other end of the spectrum. And then you're adding a lot of pressure to yourself. When I was adding that pressure to myself, it made it more difficult, because then it made working out stressful. But when it just became something where it's like, more enjoyable, like bring a friend or have little dates, I did that with it, or work out together and, just make it better. But don't make working out such a task and so horrible. If it's so bad, then you're not going to want to do it. And then also play around with it. There's so many types of, I did classes. I did like the bar classes, and I did spin, then, some yoga. Just play around with it and make it fun, if that's what appeals to you. But find what you like and then keep doing it. That sounds easier. That's probably one of those easier said than done types of things. But that's honestly how I did it. I will say now that after we got married, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but so I enjoy working out. But after we got married, I swear we did not work out at all. And I am telling on myself right now. And hopefully that makes me accountable. But knowing my personality, it still won't. But I know I can't fit into my wedding dress. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I cannot fit into that dress anymore. I look great in it, and now I can't wear it. So I'm working on that right now. Just know, that's a little side note. It has nothing to do with my workout schedule. I stopped it. I stopped with it, basically, is the answer to that. Hey, Shadora. I see that you're on there. Okay, so I have to talk about this anyway, but you got married in Vegas and you looked amazing too. So I'm really curious to know, as far as working out, what did you do and what are you thankful for having a destination wedding? So can you tell us? And what else? Let me see. Ooh. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I did something wrong. So yes, I think I'm done. I feel like I've been able to cover a great amount of stuff. You didn't work out at all. Not working out at all. That's lucky you. That's not fair at all. But I did, and I had to, and it was important for me, and I just stopped now. It's done. I have to get back into it. So hopefully that gets better. I'm curious to know, so I would like for you guys to, even if you're watching this later on, comment and let me know what you are thankful for. I'm doing this, and I don't know why I'm doing this actually, but comments in the comment section. Yeah, let me know what you are thankful for. If you decided to have a wedding and a destination wedding, then tell me what you are happy about. If you're doing it now, tell me what you're happy about. If you've already done it, tell me what you're happy about. Shadora bought her dress off the rack and had it let out. Yeah, you know what? That is real. That is amazing, and that's a really, really great idea. I feel like while we're just talking about alterations, just for a quick moment, I would say that's the other thing. Like, don't go crazy about your body. I will go crazy still, not completely crazy, but alterations are a lifesaver. You can bring it in, you can bring it out. I never even thought about it. And the other thing I would say is when you buy your dress, depending on where you buy your dress, they always kind of just try to push you into just signing up for alterations with that company. And I think that you don't have to do that. I know that you don't have to use those alterations. I would say shop around in different places. I ended up buying my dress in Atlanta, and I'm up here in Pittsburgh, so I had to find someone here or just keep going back and forth to Atlanta. But shop around, because your seamstress can work some real magic. Like, where your dress has no structure can be built in that. Or if, say in Shador said she had it let out. Do what you needed to do. Make it fit you, because you are thankful for you and your love, and you're just going to be comfortable with it. So if for any reason at the last minute it's not working out, or you feel like you're getting stressed out, find a good seamstress. They're wonderful. Shadora, you are thankful that you didn't have the stress of a wedding party as well. Okay, so yes, I did not have a wedding party. I had what I called my Bridefriends, but I still had stress. I thought that I was avoiding it by not having a bridal party. And I guess I did on some level, because I knew it would have been worse, but I thought I would have no stress at all. And that just wasn't the case for me. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. I'm not even gonna go there, but it just wasn't the case. But it would have been worse. It's one of those things where you know the people, so you don't have to worry about certain things. Especially with the destination wedding, like deciding to have a bridal party if you're having your wedding at home is one thing, because everyone's here. So the biggest thing that you may end up getting a problem or hearing some stuff about is like, I don't like my dress, or I don't like my arms, or I don't like how I look and whatever, or I don't want to do this and I can't do that. But when you add a destination wedding on that piece, then it's on top of me traveling and doing everything. Now you also want me to wear this dress and do that. It just kind of adds this extra layer. So I can see that, because you're already taking people to Vegas, and then next thing you know, it's this whole other thing. So I feel you on that. But I did not have stress. I didn't. Pray for me, y'all. I found a small alteration shop, and it was way cheaper than a bridal shop. Yes, they can be cheaper, and then it's just better. It can be much more personal. You're not kind of like being shoved in like cattle. Like, that's how, when you go to a place looking for a wedding dress, it tends to be just as busy, and you're going and you just have your appointment's set for a specific amount of time. They bring you into this little area. Everyone can look at you and they're watching you. And then the next thing you know, you're sitting here, you're missing out. If you think about it and you like really try to go somewhere different, or just try something outside, and you can always shop around. So I just would say, get your dress, don't sign up for alterations immediately, and then shop around to other places. You can interview your seamstress. You don't have to have that seamstress that's at that store. That store is not the only store in the world that sells wedding dresses or your wedding dress. So you can always shop around to different places and see. Like for me, I was able to go, I had Debbie, and Debbie just gave me free reign for the most part. But, it's one-on-one. There's no other people. And, it's nice to get people go, oh, you look so great in your dress. But yeah, you kind of want to be private about it. Or you want to, you ain't got no clothes on. You got this whole thing on. And it's just much more personable. Is that the word? Yes, personable to be there and be one-on-one with it. And then you can, like I said, Shador said, it can be cheaper. Ooh, thank you. Like my shirt. Do not talk to me until you RSVP. These are available on my DESTI site, desti.land. These and so many more. It's kind of, I like to say, it's everything that goes on in your mind without having to say anything. So if you got that person that's talking to you and they haven't RSVP, or they talking about everything else, and all you're thinking right now while you're looking at them is, why have you not RSVP'd to my wedding? Why are we talking about anything else when my RSVP deadline is in 2 days? Like, for real. So this is an idea or a version of it, but love them. I've got RSVP or die and so many more. Shut up and get your passport. I got all types of stuff on there, so check it out. I've got some sales rolling in, so thank you, boo. Yeah, I feel like we're getting close to the time. So if there are any other questions, please let me know, or any other comments. I hope that today has been helpful. I hope that you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I enjoyed mine. So thankful for everything. So thankful for you guys. I'm thankful to be able to be on Facebook Live. I was terrified, and this is wonderful. This has been great. And I'm thankful for my reviewers. Can I just start off? First of all, I'm thankful that the Bridefriends Guide to Destination Wedding podcast is back. Yesterday was episode 16, which was part 1 of my wedding recap with Ivory Perkins of Ivory Perkins Beauty. And we talked about everything. We've gone through everything that went on. I was asking her things that I should have done better. We've kind of hit some little things. So it was like, what could we do better? What did we kind of really do great that everybody else needs to be doing? And then what kind of stuff happened along the way, and what types of tips did we miss out on? So I feel like I'm happy that the podcast is back up. Every single week we'll have new episodes. I'm going to have my recap part 2 for next week, and then we'll start rolling in with the DESTI interviews and the DESTI pros to talk to you guys about what they went through, about their budgets and how they packed, because I'm going to keep telling you what I've done, but I have so many other bride friends who are willing to share what they have, and I'm thankful for them, because without them, y'all would just be sitting listening to me all the time, which is great, but it's nice to talk with other people too and get some other perspectives. So if you are not currently subscribed to the podcast, then go to bridefriends.com, or you can also hit the BlackDesti.com, and everything is on there. You can see the blog, you can see the podcast, you can see the shop, and I am happy to have a 5-star review on iTunes. So I am curious to know, I'm going to do this randomly really quickly. I have some reviewers, and you guys don't leave your names, which is fine. But I personally would love for you to DM me to let me know who you are, so I can thank you personally. So real quick, I'm funny. How do I do this? I thought this was going to be quick. It's not quick. Okay, so Reverend Hustle. Who is Reverend Hustle? I need to know who you are. Reverend Hustle says she is real, open, fun, and energetic. Great info, well-researched, and many learning points from her own experience of planning a destination wedding. This is a very high-quality and enjoyable podcast. I'm always looking forward to the next episode. Sit back with a glass of wine or two and enjoy the show. Reverend Hustle, I need to know who you are, so please send me a link. And every single episode, I'm going to kind of call out someone different, because I want to know who you guys are. I'd love to meet you. I appreciate that you have this, that you're enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm always open to hear, feedback. Let me know what's what. I appreciate the reviews. I'm in the 5 stars right now, so this is awesome and it's great. But I won't hold you guys up any longer. I love you guys so very much. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you still are enjoying your leftovers, because I'm going to enjoy some right now. I think my husband had a sweet potato pie for breakfast, and I'm going to go have some too. And I'll see you guys next week for Ask a Desti Live. And again, you can see me at www.bridefriends.com or BlackDesti.com. So I'll see you guys next week. Love you.